Hey guys, welcome back. So today we got a 24 GV70. Customer complained that our steering column is not moving down at all. I think this is stuck on up position. So as you can see there, I'm pushing it down. Nothing happens, but inside to outside, right? It's working normally. So before I check this, I check the switch because there was a data there for steering column assembly that you can check the switch itself if it's working or not, and I see the data changes, and I just visually check everything here, and everything is good. So I called the whole steering column assembly, right? So today we're just gonna be replacing the steering column on this 2024 GV70. So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the lower panel, remove the airbag on this one, driver airbag. Don't forget to remove your negative cable, right, on the battery. And yeah, that's about it. So I think this one is just, is there a hole here? Okay, so there's no hole, so this is just a push in on each side. So the access point on that one is this side here, and the same thing on the right side of the steering wheel. So let's do that first, and then we can start removing the lower panel. So I'm gonna do this airbag first. Okay, so this is what I used to just go into that hole. Oh, let's see again here. Okay, so you just push it. Usually you can feel it, right? And the other side of this airbag will pop off. And do the other side, the right side now. Same thing. Okay, and then the airbag will just jump off. Okay, so now this style of connector, you have to push up at the same time, this guys here. Or if you don't want to remove this is very handy on the Genesis side. I don't know with the newer Hyundais, like it's also connected also on the other side, so the whole connector, so you don't have to mess up on this one. You just remove from this side here. So just grab a flat screwdriver, push on the side, push and pull, push, pull. So you push the white tab here, push down and pull. So you don't have to remove these two connectors there. Okay, so put your airbag aside. Okay, so now we're gonna remove our bolt there, our steering wheel. So that's 21 mm. Okay. Put aside. And usually this steering wheel, the newer steering wheels, they just go in one way. So as you can see there's a mark. The light's too bright. There's a mark there on each side. And then once you, let's remove this connector first here. Okay, so just wiggle this first. Okay, so let me put this aside. So this new steering wheel won't go on different direction, I think, because especially with this. Okay, so let's try this, because I know that it won't go on the, it goes only one spot. Okay. So that's the right position. So if I'm gonna mess it up, it really doesn't go at all. So it just goes, doesn't go in. No, so it only goes in one way. so it only goes one way, so you will not mess it up. But yeah, there's also a paint mark there, and you can also make your own paint mark too. So now we're gonna remove the trim piece here. Let's just pull this out, and I'm just using a flat screwdriver and go under. Yeah, and then you can access the two screws here, and then one screw at the bottom. And then there's gonna be a screw here. Okay. And then just remove your connector, and this it won't come off. Okay, it should come off. Okay. So we got move our lower shroud there for steering column. Next is we're gonna remove our lower panel here. Usually there's a small slot here that you can put in your flat screwdriver, and then you can use your plastic trim tool to wedge it or to pry it out, not your flat screwdriver, because it's gonna damage the plastic. Okay, put this aside. Now we got 3 screws here. So there's one here, there's ones on the side, okay. So I'm just gonna remove our OBD2 port here, just push each side. Okay, next will be our knee airbag. So that's 10 mm. Knee airbag. Now, next will be, so that's there. So we just have to remove our connectors there that's attached to the motor. And I don't think this one needs a calibration or something, that we will do calibration, but the module of this guy here is in the steering rack, so it doesn't really matter, but we'll just do that because technically we're just replacing the motor for the steering column for the movement. So now next is we're gonna remove our clock spring. Let me just remove this harness there. So I'm just gonna remove our connector for multifunction switch and our clock spring. There, so that's out. Okay, so this guy, to remove this, let me see. Okay, so there's a 10 mm. Okay, so this is different, right? So there's a 10 mm on the side, as you can see there. Oh, the light's too bright. I'm gonna turn my finger, this guy here. So we're gonna remove that. So unlike the older models, like they have 2 screws or a clock spring, a separate what do you call that, unit. So 10 mm, I'm gonna remove it by gun. Okay. As you can see there, just one piece. Okay. So next is we're gonna remove, where's the mounting screws? There should be a mounting screw at the back. I can't see anything. Okay, so there's one big 14 mm there at the back. If you guys follow my finger, this is the column. On top of that, there's a 14 mm. We're gonna remove our universal joint bolt there, and that's it. That should be all the bolts that needed to be removed just to remove this steering column. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove our bolt there, the mounting bolt at the back first, and then do the universal joint and these 2 nuts here on the front. Okay, so let's try this first. 14 mm. That's too long. Okay. So I'm using a short socket here. 14 mm. Oh, is it too tight? Let me grab my electric ratchet here and a 14 mm swivel. Where is it? Come on. Okay, so here's our long bolt there for the back of the steering column. Next is we're gonna remove our 12 mm here. That's for our universal joint. Make sure you order a new bolt for that, because as per the shop manual, that's one time use only. But you know, you can always reuse that if you don't have it. Doesn't really, it's not end of the world. But yeah, so since this one, the universal joint lower part of it, that's all connected to the tire, so that won't move. And then yeah, I think that's it. And then we'll remove our two nuts here on the top portion of the column. So that's 12 mm. Okay, let's remove this guy. Okay, so that's out. As you can see here, you can see our end of our column, because this is one whole piece. When we install new one, there's like a tongue here, or like a slot there. Make sure when you put it in, that goes into your at the end here, right? There's one here too that's supposed to go in there. Okay, so let me grab our new part. Okay, so here's our new part. I'm gonna put our like the tongue there first. Oh my god, what happened? Okay, there you go. There. Okay, let's put our two nuts here first, because putting the two nuts in the upper portion of the column. Okay, so next is I'm gonna put our long bolt for the back portion of this steering column. Just turn it by hand first, and then you can use your electric ratchet or your wrench or whatever you want to use for that. Okay, that's good. Now same thing in our, I'm putting the other nut here for our upper portion of our steering column. I'm just gonna snug it, so we're gonna torque that to specification. Next is our universal joint. So since our universal joint that didn't move, right, because that's connected to the wheels, so now what you need to do is you need to line up the slot for the bolt. I'm gonna explain to you guys once I put this in. Let me put this in first. It's the other way around. Okay. Here's our bolt here. Same thing, I'm just gonna snug that and then we'll torque it later. So the one I'm talking about, this guy here, this slot here, so that's supposed to line up on your universal joint, and your bolt which should slide through there, right? And you won't mess that up because it's just one way. If you're one off of this what do you call it, the spline, the bolt won't go in, so you should not mess that up, right? So now I'm just gonna grab the torque specs on this mounting bolts and nuts and our universal bolt, and then we're gonna torque them. Okay, so for our universal joint bolt there, that's 27. Okay, and for our two nuts here, the upper portion of our steering column, that's gonna be 21. And then last one is our 14mm bolt there at the back, that's 43, right? Or 41. Okay, that's good. So that's all tight. So next is, let's just reconnect our bolts and your electrical connections here. This guy is here, and then our multifunction switch there. You know what? Since I'm here already, I'm just gonna install our knee airbag here first. Okay. So next is our multifunction switch. Okay. And then just tighten your 10mm on the side. Okay, so hand tight. It's tight already. Okay. Since we're here, I'm gonna install our lower portion of our steering column. cover. Okay, line up your holes there. Okay, so just line up your marks. Put your connector first for your clock spring, and then so this guy here needs to be only one-time use. Okay, so make sure you also replace that. But in our case, I didn't see. I was just thinking about the universal joint, because this is really my first time to replace a steering column. So anyway, torque spec is 36 foot-pound. That's kind of low, but let's see. 36 foot-pound. Okay, that's tight. Okay, now our airbag assembly. Now you just have to push this in. Okay, so that's in. Now, moment of truth. Let's see. Let me just start this car. So make sure. Sometimes every time you unplug the parking brake switch, usually it will show here yellow icon EPB light. So you just have to use the switch and turn it off. So let's see. Moving in, moving out, and the customer complaint is up and down. So up and down is working now, as you can see there. One more time. In, out, up, down. So that's good. So yeah, yeah, technically you really don't need to do a steering column, steering angle sensor calibration, because you really didn't mess up any the steering what do you call that, position of this, right? You just did the motor for the up and down and in and out motion of the steering column. So yeah, as I said earlier, I just wanted a scan tool. If it's applicable, or there's a data for the steering column assembly, you can just turn on your switch. If it's working and the data is changing, just double check inside the cover, since it's all covered, right? Maybe it's just unplugged, make sure they're all good, connect, the pins are good, and then if everything is good, yeah, you just need a new steering column assembly. I don't know if the motor is you can buy separately, but I think I just called the whole steering column. Yeah, so there you go guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks again for watching. See you next time.